Can you believe it? Another month. Already. It's a time to play the TBR game again. Hi, my name is Jeanette, and I want to thank you for joining me on the channel Jane Reads. So we're at the end of September, getting ready for October, which means it's time to set my October TBR. And how do I set my TBR? By using my board game, TBR Bonkers. If you've never seen me play this game before, there will be linked the playlist for all the TBR games, all the editions of this game that I played, in the description below, along with the very first video where I kind of go over how I set it up and how it works. So we're just going to dive right in. No, we're not. First, I'm going to talk about plans for October before we get into the game board and playing. Kind of books on my radar or prompts I'm going to try to fill. Because I don't have particular books on my radar really that I'm thinking, okay, I want to get this one on my TBR for the month. But I do have some prompts that I want to fill, so I'll be kind of keeping those in my mind as well as I play and choose the books. Okay, so I'm due a few yearly challenges, and my own reading challenge for October is to continue a series. So that will be fairly simple for me because I have quite a few series going. I think I have 16 at this point in time, plus a few that is on my radar to start. So we'll see how that goes. Again, I don't have a particular book for that. Okay, then for Oshina's Christian Romance Challenge, I'm trying to do them in order. So I am looking for a fall season book. Again, I do not have one just off the hand that I want to get into that, so I'll just be kind of keeping an eye open. Okay, then for Katie's Read Around the World Challenge, the next one is Set in a Place You Would Like to Live. So for that, I'm thinking England, southern states, somewhere warm-ish. But again, I don't have a particular book set for that one. Editing Jeanette here. So I'm just watching back the October TBR video that my BFF edited for me, and I realized I made a mistake. For Katie's Around the World Challenge, I went the wrong way on the board. I went backwards instead of forwards. So October's prompt is actually set in Europe, not in a place I want to live. So ignore everything I say about set in a place I want to live, because that is not what I'm supposed to be doing. I did that one in August. I don't know where my head was when I was doing this video. Okay, so the October's prompt is set in Europe. Funny enough, as I move throughout the video, you will see the book that I plan to read for this prompt for set in a place I want to live actually fits set in Europe. So, I mean, it works out in the end, but yeah. So just, yeah, ignore every single comment I make about setting where I want to live. Okay, back to the video. And then for Chantel's Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, October's prompt is to read a non-fiction book. I don't like this prompt because I don't read a lot of non-fiction books. And I really have kind of two choices for this prompt. I mean, I think I actually have 8 choices, but 7 of those are part of a series. So obviously book 2 needs to be the next one I read. So that leaves me with 2 choices. Okay, so those are kind of the things I'm thinking about. Then I'm also planning on participating in Katie's Journey Through the Bible Readathon that's happening for the month of October. So I will link her announcement video in the description below. If you haven't heard about it, go check it out. And really, you just need to read one book from each prompt area, each section, and then you've participated. She also has a buddy read going, but I don't plan on participating in the buddy read. But I would like to see, can I make my way through? And can I escape with the right escape route to match up with the the booby trap that I end up reading. I don't know. Katie hasn't told how you escape, like which escape matches which booby trap. Why can I not say that word? So we'll see what happens there. Again, I do not have particular books picked out for this, so I'm really kind of throwing this TBR together, and we'll see what happens. Okay, let's go to the game board and see what is going to happen with our first roll. Let's kind of mix these up a bit. Not that it really matters that much because... Oh, I don't like that one. You go in there and hide. Okay. Because it's based on dice, I can't really like plan stack the board, right? Because it all depends what I roll. Move you over a bit. So here's my extra prompt cards. Then we've got the loose spot cards, so it's just kind of mixing this up a little bit. They go up there, and okay, we are set. I've got my little double-decker London Buzz on the start spot. I've got my 2 dice. Let's roll. And we're going 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's the first one gonna be? Highest rated. Okay, so I got the prompt highest rated. I like this one because it has a high rating, so it should be a book that I'm going to enjoy. We'll see what happens. So I pulled up my Goodreads. I am recording my screen, but I don't know if it's going to work to add it. But so you might have to just believe me, or it might be inserted. Okay. So, my highest rated. Let's sort by rating. Okay. So, my highest rated book is Big Apple Atonement by Carolyn Miller, which is book number 5 of the original 6 hockey series. It has a rating of 4.62. However, I am not ready to read book 5 yet. I'm on book 4? Yes, I'm on book 4. So, I don't know. Then we go down one. The next highest rating is a 4.61, which is Moonlight Cove by Shanna Hatfield. I do really want to read that one. So do I just skip down because I'm not ready to read the book 5 yet, or do I figure out where book 4 fits in this list? It's book number 19 down the list. That feels like cheating to just move to 4. So I'm going to read Moonlight Cove by Shanna Hatfield. It is categorized as a romance, mystery, thriller, contemporary. And it says, when 3 lives unexpectedly intersect, magic happens in the moonlight. Jamie didn't knowingly step into the middle of a murder and become the prime suspect. When a man washes up on the beach and asks for help, Jamie can't refuse. On the run and terrified, Jamie takes refuge in the woods behind a storybook cottage in a cove where moonlight dances on the water and through the trees at night. Brenly Baker has no intention of spending her summer in Seaside, Oregon, but Mimi, her persuasive grandmother, coerces, also known as guilts, her into coming. Brenly has visions of sunburns, stinky fish, and her grandmother's senile friends filling her days. What she discovers upon her arrival is a handsome policeman chasing after a killer through Moonlight Cove, the property that has been in her family forever, for more than 100 years. Time and experience have left Seaside Police Chief Jake Adams more than a little jaded. Naivety has no place in his life until a chance circumstance brings a shy woman into his world. She's nothing like the females he's dated, yet something about her leaves him so intrigued he can hardly focus on the murder investigation that should be his top priority. Will an alliance between Jake and Brenly, as they fight sparks of attraction, race to catch a killer, and seek what is best for Jamie, tie their hearts together? Okay, so it says, find out in Moonlight Cove, a sweet contemporary romance with a dash of mystery and a sprinkling of humor. Okay, I'm really looking forward to this one, and this is a really pretty cover. But it takes place in Oregon, a place I've never visited, so I don't know if I want to live there. So that does not fit that prompt. But that is book number 1. Let's go back to the board for book number 2. Okay, roll 2. 9 and 2 is 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And, oh, nice. Forward 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The prompt is under 250 pages. I do not have a lot of books under 250 pages. I was thinking I can do a love inspired suspense book. I could do a couple novellas, like not a couple. I have a couple novellas to choose from on my Kindle. But then I'm like, I could do the nonfiction book. That would probably be the best choice because that would do 2 prompts. It would fit this prompt and a prompt on the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge. And it is a series I want to get read. So that is what I'm going to do. So I have pulled out It Shouldn't Happen to a Vet by James Herriot. This is book number 2 in the All Creatures Great and Small collection. And it is 229 pages. My only thing about this, it's very wintry. I wish it wasn't so wintry, but I guess we're heading that way. So this is the one I'm going to read. It Shouldn't Happen to a Vet by James Herriot. And how on earth did James Herriot come to be sitting on a high Yorkshire moor, smelling vaguely of cows? Now firmly settled into the Derby-based practice, James isn't sure, but he still loves it and still has plenty to learn. Okay, let's go back to the board for roll number 3. Okay, so we're back for roll number 3. Let's see what happens. 5 and 4 is 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Forward 3. I'm liking these. Getting around the board quicker. 1, 2, 3. A legal fiction. I got legal fiction. I don't know if you can see that at all. And I have a few legal fictions. I actually have an advanced reader copy of Guilty Until Innocent by Robert Whitlow that is coming out February of 2025. So I was like, well, I could read that one, but it also feels too early to read that one. I'm surprised I've already got it. So I'm like, I don't know. But then I looked at my bingo boards to see, do I have any legal fiction on there that I need to read? And I have 2, on my rereads bingo board that I wanted to reread this year to find out what I thought about them, because it meant I read them quite a while ago. And out of those 2, one of them will complete a line. And I get bonus reward for completing a line. I mean, it's just more for fun. Doesn't really mean anything. It just, yay, I completed a line. But I'm going to read Mountaintop by Robert Whitlow. This is the one that will complete the line for me as long as I read it. And it says, can he trust his client's dreams and visions, even if they threaten to destroy his future? Supernatural visions filled with images of keys, hatchets, hammers, and fires. An eccentric old man in jail, accused of robbing a church and knowing things he has no right to know. a lawyer turned pastor, suddenly summoned to a stranger's cell by a dream. How much will one man risk to defend another, when the truth lands him in prison, and the only evidence proving his innocence comes by a dream? I also know that this one has been turned into a movie, and I know that our library has the movie, so maybe once I read it, then I will watch the movie. Maybe. We'll see. So, yes, I know I read this years ago. It was originally released in 2006, but I do not remember anything about it, and I did not write a review, which is why it's on my rereads list. So, yeah, that is going to be book number 3. Okay, let's go back to the board and see what happens next. Okay, roll number 4 is a 5, because the W is a 0, means nothing. Okay, well that's not a very big number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I was having a small TBR. Not so much anymore. Oh, the prompt was to pick 2 books, any choice. So it was free choice for me. That's kind of difficult for me because I prefer the prompts to make me like kind of select. And I don't mind the just randomly choosing a book, like doing my wheel spin and it says, okay, you must read this one. I don't mind that at all. Because choices are hard. What do I want to read next? Okay, but this was fairly simple for me because I want to work on completing my goals before the end of the year. And I have 2 series that I need to finish. I had picked 8 series to finish before the end of the year, and I have 2 that I really need to work on and make a little bit more progress in it. The first one is the original 6 Hockey series that I talked about a little bit earlier. The next book for me to read, I just have my Kindle. I have a little picture of all the books on my Kindle. So it is on my Kindle. And it is book number 4, and it's called Hearts and Goals by Carolyn Miller. And this one says, he's a goalie with a big heart. Well, she's afraid to trust again. After a series of tragedies, Maggie Jolly's dreams have been confined to her work at Montreal's Botanic Gardens and caring for her little boy. Besides, wishing for more would simply be selfish, especially when she's already loved well. But when a surprising workplace encounter sees her in the arms of a handsome, sweet-talking stranger, she's soon forced to reassess whether romance might still be in her future after all. Working in the fairy tale-like city is a dream come true for Beau Nash, Montreal's new goalie. And while he's excited to explore all his new city has to offer, he hadn't counted on meeting a striking brunette with heart-melting eyes, or so quickly bonding with her and her son. Even though Maggie's faith is a little tenuous, and shadows from the past mean she might never really be ready to love again. An incident at the gardens forces Beau to choose between his dream job and the woman of his dream, while an accident on the invites Maddie's deepest fears. Perhaps a pumpkin ball might help convince them to believe in happily ever afters once again. Okay, do you know why I got excited about that? A pumpkin ball. That means this takes place in the fall season? Maybe? Hopefully? I don't know. That might, and it's a romance, so that will complete Oshina's prompt. If that pumpkin ball takes place in the fall season. Oh, I'm excited about that one because I hadn't actually read the whole thing before. Okay, then the second book I chose was The Heart's Appeal by Jennifer Delamere. This is book number 2 of the London Beginnings series, so it takes place in London, England. I don't know if I'd want to live in London itself, but I want to live in England. So this is set in London, 1881, and it says, he never expected to see her again. Then she appeared with the most unexpected request. It is book 2 in a series. I know that we're following the sister, Julia, who we met in book 1. She's the sister of the main character from book 1. So I'm not going to read the rest because I don't want to spoil myself or you. So yes, this is going to be the next book I read. Okay. So now we go back to the board for book number, that was 4 and 5. So book number 6, which is roll number 5. Okay, so we're getting close to the end. What is going to happen with this roll? Will this be our final one? Or will I get another tiny number? 6. That's a tiny number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm 3 spots from the end. And I can't pick it up. Okay, what's going to happen? Oh, are you kidding me? The prompt is biography or nonfiction. Well, remember I said I only have 2 nonfictions to choose from? Really? Well, I only have 2 biographies to choose from. Really. These are not genres that I read a lot of. And I already put a nonfiction on this TBR. What was I thinking? So the two biographies I have. One, I'm planning on reading in November as a buddy read. So I can't put it. So that leaves me with Dove by Robin Lee Graham. Yes. Which covers Robin Lee at 16 years old in 1965. He began a solo around-the-world voyage from California in a 24-foot sloop. 5 years and 33,000 miles later, he returned home to home port with a wife and a daughter and enough extraordinary experiences to fill this best-selling book, Dove. So that's book number 1 as an option. Or the other book is I could continue the James Herriot series and read Let Sleeping Bats Fly. However, do you see what's on this cover? More snow. I already said I didn't want to read the book number 2, the one that's already on my TBR, because of the wintry cover. And then this one continues with the wintry feel. So, and this one has been on my TBR forever. I have owned this a long time. I don't even know how long. Whereas this one I've only owned maybe 2 years, if that. I don't even know if it's 2 years. So I'm thinking I'm going to read this one. And this one is shorter than this one. So that did factor in a little bit. It is 200 pages. Not even 200 pages. 199 pages. So this is the one I am going to read. Okay, let's go back to the board, and let's hope I can roll more than a 3. Actually, I know I can. Okay, we're back for the last roll. Gonna roll just to make it official, but I will make it. With a 9. 1, 2, 3. I'm done. When we make it to the end of the board, that means I need to pick a book from my TBR bingo board. And I am making great progress on this. As you can see, I have 4 books left. Now, all of them are kind of, how do I say this? This one here is book 3 of a series. The rest of them are the next book for me to read if they're part of a series. But I don't get to just pick a book. My wheel will spin and choose what book. So I've got 4 books left on the wheel. Is it going to be nice and pick one that's the next book for me to read? Or is it going to be mean and pick the book 3, which means it's adding 3 books because I haven't even started that series. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be nice. So it chose Reclaiming Nick by Susan May Warren. This is book number 1 of the Noble Legacy series. There's another book I have on my Kindle, but I know I can get a physical copy from my church library. So it says, no it doesn't. So it says, Nick Noble hadn't planned on being the prodigal son. But when his father dies and leaves half of Silver Buckle, the noble family ranch, to Nick's former best friend, he must return home to face his mistakes and guarantee that the Silver Buckle stays in the noble family. Award-winning journalist Piper Sullivan believes Nick framed her brother for murder, and she's determined to find justice. But following Nick to the Silver Buckle and posing as a ranch cook proves more challenging than she thinks. So does resisting his charming smile. As Nick seeks to overturn his father's will, and Piper digs for answers, family secrets surface that send Nick's life into a tailspin. But there's someone who's out to take the Silver Buckle from the noble family, and he'll stop at nothing, even murder, to make it happen. And this is a book that I was thinking might fit the fall season, maybe because it just seems to have fall colors on the title, like on the cover. So I don't know. Okay, so those are the 7 books on my October TBR. Now, have I fit all the prompts for the reading challenges that I'm hoping to complete this year? Let's take a quick look. So the fall season, I think that Hearts and Goals one will fit that prompt. Then for my own continuous series, The Heart's Appeal by Jennifer Delamere will complete. I'm continuing a series in that one. Okay, for Katie's Set in a Place You Would Like to Live. Where is this one set? I don't know where Mountaintop is set. Because I have a Montreal... Oh. I don't really want to use a nonfiction, though. I don't know. It doesn't tell me on the first page. So I don't know. But I'm sure I can find something. Because I was thinking, this one is set in Yorkshire County in England. I would be okay living in the country. So, maybe, except I don't want the snow. How many times can I tell you that? This one is set in London, England. I think I could handle a suburb of London, maybe? Did it say where the Silver Buckle Ranch was? It did not. So maybe... I don't know where that one is. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I have options there. And then for Chantel's, it was to read a nonfiction book. I have 2 of them on my list, so that is done. Okay, let's look at Journey Through the Bible. Wow, I'm struggling over words. Okay, so where am I going? Do I have a book that is set in biblical times? No, I do not. Do I have a wartime era book? No. Do I have a book with flowers on the cover? No. But Bathsheba is a female main character. She's a female main character. Okay, so what am I hunting for? Do I have a book with a male main character? I know that these are male main characters, so yes, I do. So that is Pharaoh's Tomb. Do I have a beautiful cover? Yes. Moonlight Cove by Shanna Hatfield is a beautiful cover. That is Precious Rubies. Rod of Moses, I'm going to listen and read to a book. Read to a book. I'm not going to read to a book. Can I listen and read a book at the same time? I'm hoping so. That is my favorite way to get through books right now, is to have a book on audio so that I can read it like while I'm driving and stuff. And then when I get home, I can sit down and actually read the book. I don't know if I have these on audio, but I'm sure I can find at least one of them. Okay, then Temple of Jerusalem, a building on the cover.
That one has a building on the cover. Now, I don't want to double up prompts. I don't think we're allowed to double up prompts. Actually, I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. Then, none of them, well, this one was published before the year 2000, definitely. It was published in 1972. So that would be Dead Sea Scrolls. I do not have any with a foiled cover. Okay, so who am I going to meet? A librarian pick? I don't have one. An action-filled book? Probably. A murder or a cozy mystery? Well, it talked about Reclaiming Nick having a murder in it. Or stooping to murder. And I feel like... Oh, Moonlight Cove also had a murder in it. And Wipe Off the Dust, the oldest book in your TBR. That's another option. So, okay, I can fulfill at least one of these. Okay, now the booby traps. A blind pick. No. Longest book on my TBR. I don't think any of these are my longest book on my TBR. Definitely not this one. Filled with Sand. A book you can finish in a day. Maybe? It's only 200 pages. I don't know. Or Walls Closing In, Coin Flip, Your Next Read. Well, that would be fairly simple because I could just put a list of all my books and then choose two and wow, I cannot get my thoughts out. Heads for one book, tails for the other, then I flip a coin, and that would be the book that I read next. So that would work. That is Walls Closing In. Okay, and then how do I escape? Snag a popular new release. Well, none of these are new releases, so I'm not escaping that way. A spearhead, a random number generator. Well, I randomly spun my wheel to pick a book. Does that count? Maybe? A book you read by light. Well, I don't know what, I don't remember what she said about this one. Because, I mean, obviously I read with lights on, but I don't think that's what she meant. I'll have to go back and watch the video. Okay, and then ask a friend to pick your book. Well, my friend did not, none of my friends picked any of these books today. They're not going to like this game because it made me choose all my own books. So I think the random number generator is kind of the most, like my wheel spin is my most randomly chosen book. Okay, well, so I have 7 books on my TBR. I own 4 of them physically. So 3 are on my Kindle, but I can get at least one of them from the library so that I can read it physically. I do not know if I can get any of them audibly. So yeah, we'll see. It's not bad. I mean, there's a few small ones. Because I know the Moonlight Cove one is also not very long as well. So, it's really a mix of genres this time. Really. So, I have a legal fiction, which is Mountaintop by Robert Whitlow. I have a historical romance, which is The Heart's Appeal by Jennifer Delamere. I have a nonfiction, which is It Shouldn't Happen to a Vet by James Herriot. I have a biography, Dove, by Robin Lee Graham. Then I have Hearts and Goals by Carolyn Miller, which is a contemporary romance. Then I have Reclaiming Nick by Susan May Warren, which is also a contemporary romance, but with a bit of mystery in there. And then I have Moonlight Cove by Shanna Hatfield, which is also a contemporary romance with mystery. So I want to say a lot of different genres, but that's 3 of the same genre. Oh well, that's okay. So that is what I'm going to be reading in the month of October. I'd love to chat in the comments below. Please tell me what you plan on reading in the month of October. Are you planning on participating in any readathons that are coming up? Let's chat. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for future videos. Thank you. Bye.